Hello and welcome to the Dutchman in San Marcos. I am the DISM, and we're coming to you today with a new program on I Turn Junk into Guitars. And we're working on a 3-string cigar box guitar. And where I left you last, we were talking about tuners for this thing. So we're going to be turning some older tuners that don't work on a regular guitar, so you could call them junk, into tuners that'll work on our cigar box guitar. So stay tuned and let's get going. All right, here we go. Like I was saying in the intro, we're going to be turning these tuners into ones that'll work on this neck. So basically what that's going to do is, since they're too long, as you can see, that's too long for my space from here to here, we're going to be cutting them in half. So I've got two down here and then one over here. So there'll be one over there. And we're going to go with kind of an open design where these will come through the neck, kind of like on a classical guitar, and then the strings will go down in and turn. So let's get started. Let's start working. We've got to cut this thing into pieces because we want one separate from here so we can put it that way. So let's get working on that. And I think what I'll do is I'm gonna chop this one off. I'll have a hole here to hold it, and I'm debating if I should split the hole right here, or to leave it so I have two holes in here. But I think I'm going to cut it right here just to make it shorter. So let's get going on that. I've got my Dremel here, and I've got a little cutoff wheel. And so let's get this thing cut off. I don't know why it's making. Let's make sure this is tight. Okay, here we go. I think my little screws has come, yeah, it's loosened up. So we'll tighten that up. I could see it was kind of spinning weird. I think that's why it started making noise. So we'll tighten that back up. There we go. Okay. It's cutting, but it's a little tougher than I thought. So we'll get through it. I don't know if that... I can't get it to stay tight. When you hear it jumping, it might have broke it. Yeah. All right, I'll have to figure out on a different bracket. It's not quite holding tight enough, but we'll figure something out. I'll be right back. So I took this off of the Dremel. As you can see, it just routed a hole in here, so the screw can't hold it. So I'm going to try a different Dremel. It might have been spinning it too quick. So I'll be right back. Alright, so I'm back. I got my battery powered Dremel. The plug-in one seemed like it was just spinning too fast because it actually cut a bigger hole into the disc, which it wouldn't tighten down like this one is. This one looks a little crooked, but I'm going to try to make it work. I don't have that much more to cut on it. As you can see, I made some pretty good cuts right in there. So we'll see how this one works. This one here has got variable speed, so I can start out slower. To turn these tuners. This is going to take a little longer, so I'm not going to bore you with it. I'll come back as soon as I got it cut. I need to go slow with it because the way it burned up that other disc. But this one seems like it's working, that I can vary the speed. So I'll be right back when I get cut through it. All right, we got it apart. We cut it apart. Just like this. I went back to this one, which worked. It didn't come apart. This, you can see this shaft is kind of crooked, so that's why it might be making noise. My battery power one worked for a while, but the battery wore down real quick because I was charging it, but it must not have been charged long enough. So yeah, so we got that done. The single one still has a wood screw. So basically, this one can go like this. You know, once we get a hole in it. This one will go on this side, and this one will go like, oh yeah, that works perfect. It'll go like that. Can you see that? I'll bring it closer. So that's what we're looking at doing. And so now I got to cut the holes in here because the strings will be able to go through. I'm thinking I might not make it go past here, and then this one will grab. This one I have to grab here. It'll be better for there, and there. So we'll get it all together. So now our next thing to do is to kind of mark where these are going to go. It's looking like right there would be perfect. And then drill our holes for these, and then do this hole so that way nothing is weak when we drill the holes in it. So let's mark this one on here. I think I'm going to have to go this way though to mark it. So let me get a pencil. And you won't be able to see our holes until I put the slot in the top. But I'm guessing it'll go right here. So let's draw that one, and that one. And then this one will go right in between. That, and then our center slot will go right. Our center slot will go right through here. See where the things are coming in. So let's measure this and center it. So this is 3/4 of an inch. We'll do this here. We'll get a square. And we'll get this one. Get this one marked off. That's wrong. Kind of hard because everything is at an angle, so it's hard to get this. There we go. So yeah, so we'll get those holes drilled in there. We'll get a drill bit for these for this size. So we'll drill these holes first, and then we can set them in, and then we can drill. Then we can cut our slot. So let's see what. We'll get the right depth hole here. They gotta go pretty freely. I want them pretty wide open because they have to turn in there, so we don't want a deep hole. Now I gotta figure out what's half of 3/4 inch. Somebody out there might know that just like that, but I don't. I'm not good with numbers. So hang on while I calculate that out. Okay, 3/16 is half of three quarters. So we'll go to our ruler here. Three quarters, 3/16. So 1, 2, 3. Right there. That's where our spot will be. 1, 2, 3. Right there. There we go. So we're going to have to make sure we get these square. So I'll probably use my vise here. I'll use the vise here to. Can you guys see that? No. I'm going to pull my table back. So let's do the 2 first. I don't want to go all the way through, but I want to go pretty far. So we'll mark our drill bit with some tape, because we don't want to push all the way through to each side, but we want to go quite a ways. So this would be here. We'll go a little off. So if I go just to there, that's just about right. So let's get the drill and drill this out. Make sure it's on drill. I'm going the right way. There's one. There's 2. Let's see how these guys fit. I'm a little off. So that means I have to a little off. So I might have to fill that hole with a dowel. Let me see what I can find. That's too bad. I can see where my line was off. Oh well, nothing's ever perfect. Alright, so we got it in. I forgot my rule of cut once, measure twice. I should have checked it before I drilled it. And it was a little off, but we got it to work. We got it to work out. So there's the one side. I still might have to adjust it. It's not quite going in straight, so but I can widen those holes because it doesn't matter if they're larger. So I got to actually widen this hole. So I'm going to go with a little bigger bit. But yeah, so that'll have these, and then we're going to do the other side. I tried putting a dowel in here, but it's still, the drill wanted to go its own way. Once you drill a hole, you're like kind of stuck with it. This one doesn't matter because this one's only one, see, so that one will be pretty easy. So let's drill that hole out. My tape moved, so I punched through, but that won't be any problem because that other thing will be over, but you can see it punched through. So anyways, you only can, so see that one will go on there, and I'll have to widen that hole. So we'll see if we can get that one a little wider. I'm going to go one drill bit up in size. See, my tape got messed up and then I punched too far through. So kind of one disaster goes after another, but we'll get by. It's not going to be pretty, but it'll work. But in the end, you won't see it because this will be behind. This will be behind the machine, so you won't see it. But let's try to make this guy a little wider. I do have to be careful with this one because it would show. My battery dead? No. Let's see how that works. That's better. There we go. Yeah, that works better. I'll have to bend this metal right here a little bit to fit, or maybe even trim it off. And this one will go. This one will go in here like. This one will go in here like this. So there we go. Now I just have to make the hole. This one here, like I said, if I bend that piece of metal, that'll go flat. I gotta bend that just a little more. So there we go. We're gonna have these mounted. I'll bring you back after I get this hole cut. And won't bore you with getting that done. That's just a matter of filling up. But as you can see, that'll be our tuners, which I think will look kind of cool since I got all this crazy stuff up here. So there you go. There you go. So I'll bring you back when I get this hole cut in there. All right, so we're back. I got it completed. Actually, the next day I worked on it kind of late into the night. But as you can see, we got it all drilled out, and we got the hole cut. A little more sanding I might do on these edges here, kind of to round it in a little bit. And I gotta get that a little square, but as you can see, there you go. So there's the box right there. And yeah, so we got it cut out. It was a little bit of work. I did it with a handsaw, which took me a little time, but it kept it better under control. So yeah, so it's coming together. So I threw the fretboard on there just so you can see how it looks, and we're gonna we'll glue that on there, and then the next time we'll shape the neck, and we're getting closer. I did decide with these supports to go around the hole, to go around this hole, of building a little blocked in section, kind of like that, with the neck running through, just for more support around, since this is so narrow. So what I'll do is I'll glue that up. You'll be able to see that next week. So we're working on that, and I'll have to make some new blocks like these for in the box, for in the box. So all right, so be sure to subscribe, tell your friends, tell anybody you know that likes Cigar Box Guitars, and have a great day.